Hey there, casual moviegoers, casual movie guy back here today. I'm sorry for the lack of videos lately, but today I am back with a punch talking about Southpaw, which is a new boxing drama starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Forrest Whitaker. So when I initially saw the trailer for this movie, I got really hyped. I love boxing movies. I love all the Rocky movies except for the fifth one because we don't talk about that movie at all. It doesn't exist anymore. Gone. But yeah, I love boxing dramas. I love sports dramas in general. I always love watching sports movies. They always get me hyped up. They always follow the same formula, and I think that's the biggest downfall of this movie is the fact that it follows the same cliche storyline we've seen in every single boxing movie and in every single sports movie, as a matter of fact. You know, you have a guy who's on top, then he's on the bottom, and then he has to rise back up to the top again, and that's basically the story. I'm not really spoiling anything for you here. I'm just telling you it's a cliche story. You know how it's going to start, you know how it's going to end, and you know everything in between, and doesn't do that much to really change it up. Another problem this movie has is it drags on a little bit. It was a really strong opening and a really strong finishing, but some parts in the middle felt a little dragged on, and I wasn't really feeling them as much as I should have. It's not the fact that the acting was bad, because I'll get to that later. It just felt that the writing was a little weak at some points, and I think if they would have just focused up a little bit more on what they were trying to accomplish, maybe it would have been a better story. Also, if they would have cut out some parts, it probably would have flowed a lot better and just felt like a more condensed and interesting story from point A to point B. But yeah, besides the weak writing and the fact that it was a little too long and the fact that it was the same cliche storyline, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I don't know why it's getting some bad reviews on some websites. I think it's at like a 58 on Rotten Tomatoes. Metacritic tore it apart, and I'm not really understanding that. I get that there were some not so great parts in it, but overall I think it was a pretty well done film. The performances by far were the best part of this movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is still one of the best actors of today. He's personally my favorite actor of today's time. The dude just transforms himself completely in his roles every single time. He did it last year with Nightcrawler, and he did it again this year. He just completely just becomes that character. He doesn't just go out and put a performance on for the crowd. He completely becomes that character. Like 9 months ago in Nightcrawler, he was some skinny little creepy, psychologically messed up guy, and now he's a big buff light heavyweight championship boxer who is going through hell. And it's just, the transformation is completely amazing. Now, besides Jake Gyllenhaal, I really want to note something, and it's the acting by his daughter, Ula Lawrence, her name is, in the film. Holy crap, she did a fantastic job. I was blown away at how good she did in this movie, especially for her age. I think this is only her third feature film, and the other two weren't very well-known films. This one was a pretty well-known film, I thought, and she did a fantastic job. She was able to hit those emotional beats as good as Jake Gyllenhaal, and at her age, her acting caliber is way beyond what it should be. I think she did a fantastic job. She surprised me the hell out of anybody in this movie. I went into it knowing Jake Gyllenhaal was going to be good, and he was, but I was very, very surprised at how good she was. Usually kids in movies are plot devices, and to some extent she was, but that's due to the writing. Her acting blew my mind completely. So yeah, besides the acting, the boxing scenes in this movie were very well done. They looked very professional. Unlike some other movies, like as much as I love the Rocky movies, I can't really say that the boxing scenes in those are very realistic. They're very touched up and they look like a movie. This film didn't do that at all. It kind of kept itself grounded in reality, maybe a little too much at some points. Like, I love to see big training montages and movies, and this one had it, but it wasn't that well done. But the boxing scenes of this were very realistic. It looks like you're actually watching a fight, and I give that a credit to the director and the actors and also the choreographer who did the whole boxing stuff. That was really well done. Now, I'm not going to say anything else about this movie. I think it's a very well done film. A little weak at some points, maybe a little too long. I'm going to give this movie a 6.5 out of 11. Was it as good as I wanted it to be? Not so much, but it wasn't bad at all. I had a good time watching it. I would definitely view it again. If you love boxing movies and sports movies in general, I strongly recommend you go check it out. And if you're just a sucker for good performances, I would go check it out. Other than that, there's nothing else I'm going to say. I'm the Casual Movie Guy, and if you want to hear more from me, you should definitely hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like this video, get my name out there, trying to get more views. Anyway, I'm out.